"Servant, speak, we have been waiting for you, your grace," the Duke said. "Where is the crown prince?" The servant replied, "Today, he is waiting in the bedroom, not in his office." The Duke thought, "Then this must be a private matter. What has he gotten himself into this time?" He said, "Understood, take me to his bedroom." After that, the servant said, "That is a strong smell." The Duke commented seriously, "This place is unpleasant no matter when I come. Do you have gloves? Now, you stay here and wait." Then, in the crown prince's room, the maid spoke, "Your Highness, the Duke is here." The Duke thought, "I am so tired of being summoned every time, or having people tell me, just to show me this lewd nonsense. Why is she on the floor? Is she drunk, or did the prince knock her out?" The crown prince spoke, "My bad, I did not think you would arrive already. Why are you staring like that? It's not like it's the first corpse you've seen," she said. "My name appeared, so I brought her here." The Duke thought, "Speaking of names, I've heard that a few times. One day, out of nowhere, the name of your fated partner appears engraved somewhere on your body. It seems romantic at first glance, but names disregard gender, and sometimes the name of an unwanted person appears. If the bearer of the name does not physically touch their name's owner regularly, they will die. Sometimes it's even called a curse. I've heard it's a rare phenomenon, but to see it firsthand, here of all places." The crown prince asked, "What are you thinking so hard about?" She said, "My name appeared on her body, and didn't touch her. So I locked her up for a few weeks to test if it was true, and she really started suffering and died. I thought it was just a superstition, but it's real. Isn't that fascinating?" The Duke thought, "He's completely insane." He asked, "So you called me here to take care of the body?" The crown prince replied, "Do you think I would call you for something so trivial? Anyway, come with me. I left you a special gift in the next room. Compared to my home, it's quite cold. I wanted to show you sooner, but the fever didn't drop, so I kept the room cool." The Duke asked, "What is it that you want to show me?" The crown prince replied, "You remember the Marquis, the man you executed a few years back?" The Duke asked, "That traitor?" The crown prince replied, "Yes, that man. I've had his daughter by my side all this time. Allow me to introduce you. My toy, Lillet. Of course, it's not just her I wanted to show you. Her pulse has grown weaker these past few days. When I checked her body, Baldarian, your name had appeared. So I'm giving her to you. About 3 days after it showed up, she had a high fever and then couldn't even move her limbs. It's probably a symptom of the name. Carry her in your arms, toss her in a wagon, whatever. You own her now. Nice catch. There's a chance it could be a mutual name. So be careful how you handle her, and just in case, I haven't laid a finger on her, so don't worry." The Duke thought, "So my name suddenly appeared on someone I've never met." Next scene. The aide asked, "Your Grace, the name has appeared on her. Would you like to see for yourself?" The Duke replied, "I'm telling you, it's true, so look into everything you can about the name phenomenon." The Duke thought, just earlier, she was in agony from the fever, but even just en route to the estate, her complexion visibly improved. If that person does not regularly touch the owner of the name, they will die. So this is what that means. That would mean this girl will die if she does not touch me. Lillet woke up and asked, "Who are you?" The next moment, she was asleep again. The Duke thought, was she just dreaming? Next scene. Lillet woke up and thought, "I feel like I saw someone for a moment when I woke up. Was that a dream? I don't feel well. More importantly, where am I? This doesn't look like the prince's room. That crest, it belongs to the dukedom of Justicia. No way. Why is it here? Don't tell me the crown prince handed me over to the duke. Even though he knows the duke is my enemy, he just won't stop tormenting me. That was years ago, the day everything was taken away from me. Father said, 'Lillet, hurry, hide in here. Listen carefully. The current emperor's rule is a den of beasts abusing their power. That's why I believe I made the right choice, but I'm really sorry for dragging you into this.'" Lillet thought. The estate was overrun in an instant by the imperial hounds. The knights of Justicia, my family and the servants were taken to the palace, and then, on the crown prince's orders, they were all slaughtered. After that, my nanny spoke, "Your Highness, this child knows nothing. Please, at least spare her." Lillet thought, and then it was supposed to be my turn. The prince stated, "Wait, it's a waste to kill something so beautiful. There are few women this stunning. Let's keep her alive." The knights said, "But, Your Highness, she is the daughter of a traitor. We should take care of everyone so there are no loose ends." The crown prince looked at them, then said, I am the one who saved your life, so your life belongs to me. That is, until I get bored. Now, back in the present time, she thought, and just like that, I lived as the prince's toy. No, this is not the time to get sentimental. I have to escape before I pass out again. If this really is the Duchess estate, then it's no different from the palace, a living hell. Next scene. The Duke said, "Strong wind tonight, and that is strange. What is someone who's supposed to be in the annex doing here? Take this woman back to the annex." The knight replied, "But, my lord, her condition seems quite poor, will she be fine?" The Duke thought, seems like she was wandering the forest all this time. Did she flee barefoot? Well, if she realized she was at the Duchess estate, that's only natural. He said, "I'll take her," then thought, if I were her, I'd probably hate Duchess too. However, that was an imperial compound. Let's return to the mansion. Scene change. Lillet woke up and thought, this ceiling, why, I thought I escaped into the forest. What is going on? Shackles. The Duke said, I put those on you. If you run off in this storm and something happens, it would be a huge headache for me. Lillet asked, are you the master of this house? Take these off immediately. I don't know what you're trying to do. The Duke commented, where do you plan to go in that state? Lillet asked, what on earth? Let me go. The Duke told her, I'm helping you, so stay still. Lillet thought, what was that ticklish yet frustrating sensation just now? She shouted, let go. The Duke told her, I told you, it was to help you. You seem to be mistaken, but I am the owner of the name. With the name, when you touch me your condition improves. According to my aide's report, there is something called a mutual name phenomenon. It is when, within a year of the name appearing on one person, it appears on the other person as well. Apparently, mutual name manifestation is far more common than one-sided cases, so whether you like it or not, you will be spending this next year with me. Because if I develop the name after you die, my life ends too. In return, for this year I will guarantee your safety. Lillet thought something beneath her. She said, wait a second, still, isn't this a bit too close? The Duke thought, even if she says no with her mouth, her body is definitely reacting. The symptoms of the name must be irresistible. So much so that even being touched by someone despised can't be refused. Contact between the name manifester and the name owner causes an unusually strong sensation. The Duke said, just endure it for a year here. If the name does not appear on me by then, I will release you. You will be free to go wherever you wish. Lillet replied, you want me to trust you? A close aide to His Highness. What if this is all a lie? The Duke stated, don't compare me to him. Anyway, you must be feeling a little better if I touched you. Lillet thought, now that he mentions it, my fingers that had seized up, my numb legs, everything has gotten better, even the pain in my neck has eased. The Duke asked, now do you understand the situation you are in? If you need me, think carefully and rationally. Lillet thought, 1 year, you are telling me to endure yet another year. Ever since the prince let me leave, every day has been a living hell. She remembered the prince asking, is that so? That is the bed I have been taming lately. I am punishing her for trying to commit suicide. She thought, every time I was put through unbearable pain, I would think I wish I would die along with my family back then. The prince told her to be grateful to him. I warned her, if she ever takes her eyes off us, then I will kill you all. The lady replied, come on, you must be kidding. Stop it, why don't you let her join in too? The next moment the prince beat her. He asked, you filthy, keep your mouth shut. Do you think I would sleep with the filthy daughter of a traitor? The other lady spoke up, forgive her, please. Show her mercy, she is uneducated. It can't be helped. The prince spoke, well, she is quite the beauty, even for a beast. Honestly, she is tempting. I could stare at her all day. Now, back in the present time, Lillet thought, regret always comes too late. I kept enduring the torment, holding on to that hope that someday you would let me go, but another year with the Duke. He is supposed to be on the prince's side. A few days later the prince said, Big, what a shame. I wanted to take you boating. You wouldn't understand. You don't enjoy such pleasures, but boats are best in winter. The Duke thought, I only came because of the matter with Lillet, and yet he still insists on babbling. The crown prince asked, anyway, how is Lillet? Well, I figured as much. Lillet is not the type to submit easily. I had a hard time taming her too. Do you want some advice? When she won't obey, raise your voice. I would slap her and yell every time she resisted. After bursting her eardrums a few times, she finally became obedient. The Duke thought, For someone who is the crown prince, this is disgraceful. No wonder she can't bring herself to trust me. The imperial family, the sun that lights the environment, and the Duke of Justicia, the moon that supports it, the two houses have long been deeply intertwined. The Duke, whose ancestor is the first emperor's twin sister, has always served as the imperial family's right hand, whether in honorable roles protecting the empire on the front line, or in dirty work like suppressing rebel marquises. For generations, the imperial family and the dukedom have shared an inseparable, symbiotic bond, so it is no wonder she assumes I am on the prince's side. The crown prince asked, "So why did you go out of your way to arrange this meeting?" The Duke replied, "You handed her over to me. You understand what that means, don't you? If that girl's existence is revealed to the public, it would be problematic for us as well." The prince asked, "So you are telling me to keep quiet?" The Duke continued, "Within 1 year, they say it will become clear whether it is mutual or not in that time." The prince said, "If it is not mutual, you plan to make it all disappear, don't you? Well, I suppose someone like you, who has been nothing but perfect, fine, that much is easy. But in exchange, I have a condition. If a mutual name does not manifest within a year, return Lillet to me." The Duke thought, "Return her?" Then the Duke stated, "Enough already, you talk as if she is an object." He thought, "She was already weak and worn down when we first met. If I return her to the prince, who knows what kind of treatment she will receive again." The crown prince thought, "That is a strange reaction." Then he asked, "Shouldn't you be eager to return her? You wouldn't have even taken her if she didn't have your name to begin with." The Duke thought, "I let myself get swept into his pace and lost my composure." The Duke spoke, "Why do you want her back?" The prince replied, "If it's not a mutual name, there's no need to keep her close, because you already have a fiancé, don't you?" Next scene. The Duke asked, "Where is she?" The aide replied, "For now, I guided her to the reception room." The Duke thought, dropping by unannounced from the morning, how utterly rude. After that, the Duke asked, coming without notice, "It must be quite urgent, it's been a while, lady." Camille replied, "It's because I haven't heard from you since the party the other day. I knew this was impolite, but I had to come see you, please forgive me." On the other hand, Lillet thought, "The cold air makes me cough non-stop, at least I should close the curtains." That's the Duke. And who is that with him? She looks like a noble lady. Is she his fiancé? They look good together. He's the head of a prestigious ducal family, so of course he would have a fiancé. It's not surprising. Did he shackle me just to hide my existence? That's right, if he really has a fiancé, then I'm definitely an inconvenience, which means, when he said he would release me if we don't have a mutual name, he wasn't lying. In that case, maybe I'll be free after a year, for real. After some time, Lillet asked, "What can I do for you to remove this shackle?" The Duke replied, "Stop wasting your energy." Lillet continued, "I understand my situation now, and what I must do, so I won't try to run away anymore." The Duke asked, "So do you really understand what kind of situation we are in? If by any chance the mutual name manifests, we would become mutually sensitive. That means your emotions will affect my health, and even me as a person. If you suffer, I suffer as well. If you die, then I will die." Lillet thought, "That's why he took such good care of my physical state. Let's start by holding hands. Your right hand is stiff. That must be inconvenient. Didn't you agree to cooperate quietly for 1 year? We need to observe what effects our contact has, or would you rather I touch the name directly again, like last time?" Lillet thought, "That's right. This is not an emotional act, it's just treatment, nothing more." The Duke asked, "Your fingers are as stiff as stone, does that hurt?" Lillet replied, "No, just a bit numb, that's all." She thought, "His hand is warmer than I expected." The Duke commented, "Judging from how your fingers are already stiff again in just a few days, it looks like I'll need to touch you more regularly." Lillet replied, "That's a bit." The Duke grabbed her. Lillet told him, "Let go of me." The Duke explained, "Didn't we already agree on this? Just stay still until the numbness subsides." Lillet thought, "Even though he's only holding my hand, it's making me feel weird." The Duke remembered the prince speaking, "The biggest reason I want Lillet back is because she's beautiful. Lillet's clear and beautiful eyes are just like rose quartz gemstones, don't you think?" The Duke thought, "They do seem kind of similar, I suppose." Then he said, "The recovery is slower than when I touch the name directly." Lillet told him, "This much is enough." The Duke continued, "Well, we've confirmed the effect, so that's fine. I have plans at noon, 30 minutes every night. if you comply with this condition without resistance, I will remove your shackles. A few days have passed, but from that day on, a few things change. The sound of dragging chains that used to echo through the room disappeared. A sand glass was placed on the table to measure exactly 30 minutes. Maybe it is because I stopped resisting him. Lillet said, "Your hand is too warm, Your Grace." She thought his touch became just a little bit gentler. Maybe if I ask him now, he will listen to me. She said, "There is something I would like to ask. I have a request. May I have permission to access the library?" The Duke asked, "Why?" Lillet replied, "I want to know more about the name." The Duke told her, "I received all related information about it through my assistant." Lillet continued, "But even if it is Your Grace's name, it concerns me too. I want to look into it on my own." She thought, also, being alone in such a huge room is lonely and suffocating. I want to go outside. She said, "If you're worried I will run. I don't mind being watched, so please." The next day, there was another change. She was allowed to leave her room multiple times a day and read whatever books she wanted in the annex library, although only under the condition that a butler accompanied her. Lillet thought, still, just being allowed outside the room is better than nothing, but the real problem is that there is too little information about the name. I'll just finish this book and return to my room for today. This is something I have not seen before. Manifestors who are not mutual name pairs have a high chance of dying within 5 years of name manifestation. So, in other words, that means I might die. What if the prince comes to take me back after a year? He said such awful things. She remembered the prince telling her, "You ran away the moment the door opened. Whatever you're planning to do by running, you've got nowhere to go, no home. Try running again next time. I will hunt you down wherever you run and drag you back." Lillet thought, that is the one thing I absolutely cannot allow. Even if I have to live the rest of my life being hunted, I will never return to the prince. The household servants, they are allowed to walk around the mansion freely. That's it, they can work around the mansion and memorize escape routes. They have enough freedom to search for documents on the name. On top of that, they even earn money they can use freely. This is it. That is the only option left for me now. Of course, I doubt he will allow it so easily. Next scene, Lillet said, "Welcome back." The Duke thought, looks like she won't greet me properly. More importantly, why does she always wear such thin clothes? He said, "I ended up being later than usual. Let's go in quickly." The Duke thought, honestly, she looks like she would collapse any second. Unlike her hands, her legs have not healed at all. Well, it's only natural since we've only been holding hands every night. It can't be helped. The next moment, Lillet asked, "What do you think you are doing?" The Duke replied, "It's not just about holding hands anymore. We will need to expand the area of contact a bit." Lillet thought, what did he say? After that, Lillet said, "Please, I am begging you, stop doing this kind of thing." The Duke asked, "Why?" Lillet replied, "Why do you ask? I can walk on my own. I don't need your help." The Duke continued, "Are you sure about that?" Lillet said, "What do you mean?" The Duke spoke, "Come to think of it, I have never actually seen you walk properly. I was so focused on how inconvenient your hand looked, I didn't even think to look at your feet." Lillet thought, how strange. I know he's only being careful because I am the name's master, so why does it feel like he's genuinely worried? Lillet asked, "What are you?" The Duke replied, "I'm just checking the condition of your legs. Move your hands." Lillet told him, "That won't be necessary." The Duke stated, "I see, is it because I'm one of those filthy people from Justicia?" Lillet asked, "What are you saying?" She thought, it's true, I resent Justicia so much I can't even put it into words. But that family crest flag that was hanging on the wall a few days ago, was taking it down his way of being considerate. If he truly did it out of concern for me. No, that can't be, she said. Anyway, that's not even the issue here. The next moment, the Duke told her, if you're that disgusted, then just wash it off later or something. Lillet shouted, why are you? Do you always carry people around like they're sacks of potatoes? Seriously, stop it, put me down, she thought. What kind of consideration is this supposed to be? After that, the Duke commented, it's not like I'm asking to touch your feet, I just want to help you walk more comfortably, so why do you always make such a big deal out of everything? Lillet replied, don't blame me. I told you, my legs are fine. The Duke spoke, and yet, you are dragging one leg like an injured bird. Lillet emphasized, I've gotten used to it, it doesn't bother me anymore. The Duke stated, gotten used to it, is it because of the prince? Lillet replied, I don't owe you an explanation about that. Then the Duke grabbed her leg for healing. He thought, why didn't I notice it until now? So many scars. Damn you, Dellen, just what the hell did you do to her? Lillet started trembling. The Duke thought, why is she trembling? Does she think I'm mad at her? Another trauma caused by Prince Dellen, that bastard. The Duke told her, don't worry, I'm not angry with you. The next moment, he started kissing her. After some time, the Duke spoke, I've heard you are constantly reading in the library these days. What is your goal? Lillet replied, I plan to quietly focus on recovery for the next year. The Duke told her, that's a good mindset. Lillet continued, but I have a condition, let me work here as a servant. The Duke stated, so now you want to wander around the estate as a servant after the library. Listen, you're not some guest here to be pampered. Lillet replied, I understand. She thought, does he even know the fact that a name wielder has a limited lifespan? That's why I'm clinging to what time I have left and making such a desperate request like this. I want to ask him. Lillet spoke, I understand that you want to keep my existence hidden, that's only natural, but do you really think you can hide it forever? The Duke asked, what did you say? Then he thought, is she saying she won't obey if I refuse? Why did this have to get so complicated? She has a point. If she keeps leaving the annex often, someone will get suspicious. If anyone other than trusted staff finds out, rumors will spread fast. The fact that she has my name on her and that she's a survivor of the rebel house prove it. But if I disguise her as a servant, it will be easier to keep her identity secret. The problem is, he said, don't you think that face of yours draws too much attention? Still, her health does worry me. She's trouble to the core. Then he told her, fine, but I have a condition too. If you're going to walk around outside, you'll need even more rigorous supervision. Later that night, Lillet thought, the move to the main building was carried out late at night in secret. Though a month has likely gone by since I started staying at the annex, as for my luggage, it was just a few clothes that didn't fit me or the season. To hide her identity, she took the name of a maid who once worked in the Pruitt household. The head maid told her, Brylan, this room used to be a wine cellar, it will need cleaning. Lillet replied, yes, I don't mind. She thought, Brylan, I need to get used to that name fast. The head maid thought, she's just a servant, yet without any process or explanation, she was given a private room. Then she remembered the Duke telling her, make sure she doesn't get caught up in anything troublesome. If it looks like she's overdoing it, have her rest, report immediately if anything happens. Brylan will be coming to my bedroom every night, so don't worry if she's seen walking around without reporting. The head maid thought, that's all I was told. I don't know the details, no one's going to think she's just a regular servant, so delicate and graceful. Her beauty just radiates elegance. Above all, to be going in and out of the master's bedroom every single night, that's definitely suspicious. She must be someone special to him. Lillet asked, what should I wear for tomorrow's duties? The head maid replied, I'll leave it at your door in the morning. Change into that and gather in the servant hall for your assignment. Also, to avoid attention, I'll treat you as just another subordinate in front of the staff. After some time, Lillet thought, it's a bit small, but it feels more relaxing than my old room. It's not as grand as the Imperial Palace either. He claimed it was to avoid suspicion, yet he touched me however he wanted. She thought, what just happened? That was a kiss. I ended up kissing him back without thinking. Why did I do that? And him, what was he thinking when he kissed me? The next morning, Lillet thought, when I looked around the room again at dawn, it looks even more miserable than it did last night. Sunlight barely makes it in, dust is floating all over the room, and the old wooden floors creak ominously. If I don't hurry, I'll be late, and so, a new day began. After that, the head maid spoke, is everyone here? First, let me introduce her. This is Brylan. She will be working with us starting today. Now I'll assign tasks. Lillet thought, why are they staring at me? Do I look weird? The head maid told her, Brylan, you'll be serving the master his morning tea. All right. Let's get to work. Brylan, I'll show you where the tea cupboard is. Come with me. Lillet thought, is it just my imagination? For a moment, it was as if the atmosphere had turned icy. One of the maids spoke, why her? She's just a newbie, and she gets to serve the master on her first day. Another maid replied, it's because she's pretty, looks just like some noble lady. That maid scoffed, noble lady my foot. She looks like some shabby girl picked up off the streets. Bet she's aiming to become the master's mistress or something. No way I'm letting that happen. After some time, the Duke asked, "Not even a hello?" Lillet replied, "Good morning, Your Grace." The Duke told her, "That's wrong. Call me master." Still not giving up this ridiculous game, Lillet thought, "A game? Is he talking about this job, to me? This was a drastic decision, and he's calling it a game." She replied, "No matter what happens, I won't quit." The Duke continued, "Then at least wear the uniform properly. You're so skinny, the belt's loose. Here, you tighten it like this to fit your waist." Lillet thought, "Is that why everyone was staring during the morning meeting?" She said, "Next time, tell me, I can do it myself." The Duke stated, "You're really beautiful. You can even pull off such plain clothes. You're dismissed. I'll see you tonight in my room." Lillet thought, his words reminded me of something I had completely forgotten. Starting tonight, I'll be going to his bedroom. Unlike when I was locked away, time flew by quickly. Before I knew it, night had come. I washed away the grime from work, and guided by the head maid, I walked down a cold, drafty hallway and arrived at his bedroom. "It feels like I'm going to warm his bed. This is just treatment, that's all." The Duke asked, "Your expression tells me you're ready for this to be done, isn't it?" Lillet replied, "You're right." The Duke commented, "Then let's head to the bed. I wouldn't want you falling and bruising your knees like last time." Lillet told him, "I'm fine right here." The Duke replied, "I don't plan to touch you there." Lillet spoke, "Please don't say it like that. You're not touching me, you're touching the name." The Duke emphasized, "Same thing, is that so? Well, fine." Lillet asked, "Why do you have this?" The Duke told her, "You like it, don't you? You're always so fixated on it, don't break it." The next moment, he thought, "What is this?" The Duke continued, thinking, "When I first met her, I lost my composure in an instant, much like ink unexpectedly spilling. I was so fixated on the name that I didn't notice just how many scars were hidden beneath that thin fabric, illuminated by the moonlight. They're clearly visible now. As someone who has interrogated criminals, I know well, these thick, deep scars must have come from being whipped over and over again. Can't these kinds of scars be healed by the power of the name Master?" Lillet asked, "Are you not done yet?" The Duke kissed her on the back. Lillet said, "What are you doing?" The next moment, he started kissing her. Lillet thought, "What is this feeling? No, it's like my head is bursting with sparks." After that, Lillet told him, "Today, let's stop here." The Duke replied, "Is that it? You're going to leave like that?" Lillet thought, "What was that? That was far from treatment." After some time, Lillet thought, "I learned something new from my reading in the library about the effects of touching the name. The pain and loss of energy caused by the name's manifestation can be healed when the name's owner touches the skin, but when the name itself is touched directly, it causes love pleasure. Maybe the first time he touched the name, what I felt back then was love pleasure. No, what on earth is wrong with me? It's just a temporary biological reaction caused by the name. I just have to endure it until it passes. I'll get used to it soon, I have to." A few days later, Lillet thought, "Since he started touching the name, the stiffness and numbness in my limbs have stopped completely. But now I'm exhausted in a whole different way. Pull yourself together, you're going to serve the morning tea. I can't believe I have to see him in the morning too, not just at night." A maid came and asked, "I'll serve the morning tea today, so would you mind letting me switch with you?" Lillet replied, "I haven't received any orders from the head maid." The next moment, the maid pushed her away and said, "There, no, you can't go. You can't possibly intend to serve his grace looking like that, are you?" Haley, the red-haired maid, with her beautiful face and silver tongue, seduced her master, and she enjoyed a luxurious life as a servant. The foolish nobles became generous with just a glimpse of her skin and showered her with gifts and money. Even when she was caught having an affair with her employer, she was lucky enough to get a letter of recommendation for her next job. Of course, the letter was a complete forgery. Name, birthplace, resume, all of it. The higher the rank of the nobles, the more thorough their background checks would be. As long as she had this ability, it should not be a problem. And the reason she went so far to get a job in the Duke's household was simple. It was the Duke. His name always came up at tea parties and balls where she attended as a servant. Even in a crowd, he stood out, broad-shouldered, handsome, born of noble blood. He was the perfect man in every way. At that moment, Haley thought, but the chance never seemed to come. All those years I spent flattering fat, low-ranking nobles, it was just training to serve him. I will stand by his side, no matter what. Then she remembered one time the Duke asked, "What is that awful smell?" Haley replied, I only used a tiny bit of perfume. I'm sorry. I'll go bathe and come back. The Duke told her, forget it, just leave. Haley thought, he asked me to bring wine in the middle of the night. I thought it was the perfect chance. Well, of course someone like him wouldn't fall so easily. Just wait, I'll make it happen. Next time, Haley said, I sincerely apologize for what happened the other day. I just wanted to please you, so I used some perfume. The Duke asked, what are you talking about? Haley thought, no way, he doesn't even remember me. No, he must be playing hard to get. I mean, come on, I'm way better than Brylan. Maybe he's been waiting for me to come. Now, back in the present time, Haley said, I brought your tea. She thought, see, he remembers me after all. That's right, a woman like me is the perfect match for him. The Duke said, you're not the same maid as yesterday. Haley replied, no, I'm just filling in for today. The Duke asked, why? Haley told him, well, she wasn't feeling well, apparently. She thought, why is he asking why a lowly servant took a break? The Duke thought, that's strange. I mean, I touched the name last, right? That shouldn't be the case. On the other hand, Hadley came and asked, are you okay? Your head must be numb from washing with cold water. Here, you can use this. We're both servants, so no need to be polite. It must be hard for you. Haley always picks on the new girls. Lillet asked, why? Hadley replied, everyone's always watching her mood. If you upset her, she'll bully you non-stop. Lots of girls have quit because of her. Lillet thought, so basically, Haley is the boss around here. Makes sense. There are places beyond the Duke's and the head maid's sight. She replied, thanks for the advice and information. The head maid came and asked, Brylan, I heard you're not feeling well, so Haley took your place. Is that true? Lillet replied, yes. I twisted my ankle on the stairs, so I asked Haley to cover for me. She thought, this should convey that I have no intention of defying her, so the harassment should stop. After that, Lillet thought, but instead, it only escalated. No one in particular started it, day or night. Even during mealtime, I was blatantly excluded. And at the center of it all was Haley. Haley said, are you okay? Looks like your ankle is still messed up. Lillet thought, of course, for me, who has endured the prince's abuse for several years, this kind of thing felt like nothing more than childish games, and yet, why does it make me this angry? Then at night, Lillet thought, I was harassed all day and couldn't even go to the library. I didn't even get a moment to think alone. My contract with him is for only 1 year. Every single day that passes meaninglessly like this feels like a waste. Rather, the time I spend with him is far more meaningful. What am I thinking? The next moment, she thought, what happened? Why is it here of all places? A dog. Is it the Duke's pet? It is big, but it does not seem hostile. She said, nice to meet you. You shoved me over, and now you are being all cuddly. The Duke came and spoke. How odd, that one does not usually warm up to people. Maybe it remembers your scent from the forest. Lillet thought, why is he dressed like that? She asked, from the forest. The Duke replied, it was the one who found you when you were nearly frozen to death in the forest. Lillet thought of that day, when she desperately ran into the woods. She asked, what is its name? The Duke replied, Cammon. Lillet said, Cammon, that's a beautiful name. The Duke thought, so she can smile like that too. Then he asked, are you planning to stay there forever? I'm not spending 30 minutes on the floor again. Lillet thought, seriously, he had no problem pinning me to the floor when I was in shackles. Now that I think about it, Cammon is actually a lot like a human. The Duke spoke, come to think of it, I took him from the prince too. Back then, he was in such terrible shape, I could hardly bear to look at him. For some reason, the ones who have been hurt by the prince all end up here. Lillet asked, he is so adorable, how could anyone hurt him? The Duke said, are you really in a position to be worried about him? Who knows what kind of whim it was? One day, out of nowhere, he just said he was giving him away. Maybe it was trauma. At first, he was so scared of people that he would bite if you even reached towards him. He thought, thinking about it, this girl and he are kind of alike. Lillet thought, I see, Cammon went through the same thing I did. At first, I thought he was just like those other men. But everything I've seen from him has been nothing like the prince. Sure, he's selfish and cold sometimes, but why did he bring Cammon here? He could have just handed him off to someone else instead of raising him himself. Was it a royal order, or did he feel pity? Does he pity me too? Is that why he kissed me like that? The Duke told her, you seem to have plenty of headspace to think right now. He thought, Is it the alcohol? For some reason, her expression is really rubbing me the wrong way tonight. She looks like she's being tortured or something, yet she was smiling so warmly just a moment ago with Kamen, but the moment I touch her, she scowls. Lillet thought, what is he going to do? The Duke asked, planning to steal the bed like this. Lillet replied, I will go back now. The next moment the Duke stopped her from going down. Lillet thought, I have really gotten used to this. The Duke told her, your face is redder than usual. Lillet replied, that is because you suddenly did something weird. The Duke continued, then get used to it, because this is how I will be doing things from now on. Lillet asked, my? The Duke replied, because that is what I want. Lillet thought, how can he be so selfish? She said, that is too much. The next moment her stomach made noises. The Duke commented, there is a late-night snack on the table, eat it if you want. Lillet thought, this is way too embarrassing, but still, with Haley constantly harassing me, I can't even eat properly, so I might as well eat while I have the chance. The Duke remembered when he asked, did you find out anything about that matter? The head maid replied, she claims she twisted her ankle. Apparently she swapped duties with a maid named Haley. Despite what she said, there was nothing odd about how she moved, but she did not seem to have eaten anything all day. Now back in the present time, the Duke thought, I think so. Then he said, stop being so stubborn. If you ever need help, just say so. Lillet thought, why is he suddenly saying that? Don't tell me he was. I am being harassed. No way. Is this snack for me? The Duke continued, if anything happens, tell me. Got it? Lillet replied, I can't do that. Even if you help me, there is nothing I can give in return. She thought, I have already lost everything a long time ago. I don't even know how to thank him for the sandwich. The Duke spoke, that is not true. There is still something you can do. So use your head wisely. Use whatever cards you have got. Lillet thought, something I can do. The next scene, the maid said, I brought hot water from the kitchen. Haley replied, pour it into the tub for me. It is hot, so take your time. The maid asked, did you hear about it? The new girl seems like she is even taking care of the master at night. Haley said, what, seriously? The maid continued, I heard it from Ravina the other day. Apparently she was working out late at night again. That is when she saw the girl going into the master's bedroom. No wonder she is alone in her room lately. She must have been sneaking into the master's room. Haley stated, so the reason she did not react to the daily harassment was because she had someone backing her. Unforgivable. The maid asked, what are you going to do? Haley replied, that girl, I will make her disappear from my sight. The next morning, Lillet thought, a fresh spring scent drifted in through the small window. I could not smell the seasons like this when I was locked up in the palace. It is spring already. The head maid and Haley came. Lillet thought, the head maid and even Haley are here. I have a really bad feeling about this. She asked, is something the matter? The head maid spoke, when I checked last night, some jewels and ornaments had been stolen from the treasury. We have a witness who saw you coming out of that room. Is it true? Lillet replied, it was not me. Haley said, don't play dumb. We definitely saw Brylan come out of that room, me and the other servants too. And now she lies with a straight face like it's nothing. Lillet replied, I am not lying. Besides, the key to the treasury is under the head maid's control. Haley continued, I don't know how you stole it. Maybe you used a spare key or something. Lillet told them, that's ridiculous. Haley shouted, there's something next to the bed. Get out of my way. Look at this. There are so many of them. Lillet thought, why is that here? That was also set up from the start. She stole the jewels just to frame me. Does she really hate me that much? The head maid asked, these are from the treasury, are they not, Brylan? Even after the evidence was found in your room, are you still denying it? Lillet commented, I swear I did not do it. I never entered the treasury, and I did not steal anything. Haley stated, you're not seriously going to let her off the hook, are you? She stole all those jewels. Someone once got fired for stealing just a single ring. Of course, Brylan should be fired too. The chief steward came and said, the master heard about the commotion this morning, and he ordered everyone to gather in the study. Lillet thought, so the Duke found out. Next scene, the Duke asked, I heard something interesting this morning. There has been a theft, hasn't there? According to the staff, Brylan stole jewels, and they say they checked her room to verify it. Is that true? The head maid replied, I apologize. With so many eyewitnesses, I could not just ignore it. The Duke asked, so, were the stolen jewels found? The head maid told him, yes, they were discovered in Brillen's room. Lillet thought, if this keeps up, Haley will get exactly what she wants. The jewels were found in my room, and there are even witnesses, though they're lying. I have no proof or alibi to show I didn't do it. If only someone would stand up for me. The Duke spoke. These are definitely the jewels stored in the treasury. Lillet thought, that's right, this is not the time to be proud. She whispered, help me. The Duke looked at her hand and stated, of course they were in Brillen's room. I gave them to her. This one looks just like Brillen's eyes, don't you think? Lillet thought, that's a bit of a stretch. The Duke continued, so now you're saying Brillen stole it? Haley spoke, that's not possible. I saw it with my own eyes. I saw her steal them. She thought, what the hell? I'm the one who stole the jewels and planted them in her room. There's no way they're gifts from the Duke. The Duke said, I won't keep a liar in this estate. Throw her out today. Haley stated, why do I have to leave? I have served this estate for years. Why protect Brillen over me? She thought, getting fired. All those years of effort wasted, that stable job, the future I dreamed of with the Duke, it's all that scheming girl's fault. Then she shouted, admit it, just say you did it. Lillet thought, this is just like when I was in the palace. She remembered the prince telling her, don't talk back, resist, and it will only hurt more. Haley shouted, let go of me. The Duke told the head maid, drag her out now, and you, get up. Lillet thought, this is strange. When the prince touched me, I got chills from how disgusting it felt, but when he touches me, I feel calm, like the fear just melts away. Is this because I am his named one? The Duke spoke, you've got a scratch on your face. After some time, the Duke told her, I will apply some medicine, so don't touch it for a while. Earlier, why didn't you fight back against that maid? You froze up for a moment and couldn't move. Lillet asked, are you sure you weren't imagining it? The Duke said, no way, I was wrong. That must have been something the prince planted in you, a trauma, maybe. Lillet replied, why do you always ask about what happened between me and His Highness? The Duke explained, you once said you had nothing you could offer in return. Then, in exchange for saving you, tell me everything the prince did to you, no hiding. Lillet replied, His Highness, he liked hunting. At first, he enjoyed watching his prey run for their lives. It made him feel like he was on a real hunt. But if you resisted after getting caught, then it would only get worse. But if you just endured it without fighting back, eventually he would lose interest and let you go. It would end quickly that way, so that's why I just stayed still. She thought, maybe remembering all that is making it hard to breathe. The Duke spoke, I don't get it, you resisted me so fiercely. Lillet replied, that's because I was just making a reasonable demand. The Duke commented, yes, fair enough, keep keep resisting, stand your ground like that. You're always the one getting pushed around. I can't stand seeing what's mine left unprotected and in pain. That's why I raised Kamen to be a hunting dog too. Better to kill with a bite than be beaten to death. Lillet told him, it is till morning, and I've got piles of work to do. The Duke asked, what? Then he thought, I could let her rest for a lifetime if I wanted to. How long is this woman planning to test my patience? He said, fine, we'll stop here for now. You may go. Don't forget to come to my bedroom tonight. After that, Lillet thought, his words kept echoing in my head all day. Why was that? Maybe, deep down, I knew he wouldn't hit me. Looking back, every time we talked, I somehow always ended up being defiant. Unlike when I was locked up in the Imperial Palace, it's warm here, so full of life. Now I'm sure of it, the Duke is not like the prince at all. The next day, Lillet thought, in the end, Haley was dismissed, the rumors spread quickly, and the harassment stopped too. How strange, it's already healed this much after just one night. Don't tell me it was because of last night. No, that's not it. Maybe it wasn't the treatment, but still. The women I had seen with the prince before, they always had forced smiles, trying to please him, but they never looked like they were in pain. So I thought it was just a painful, unpleasant act, but what I felt yesterday was more like, anyway, it did hurt since it was my first time, but it was not unbearable. A maid came and spoke about how I ignored you in the dining hall. I'm so sorry, I really didn't want to do that, but I had to because of Haley. If Haley had set her sights on me and gotten me fired, my whole family would have ended up on the streets. My mom is sick, and my little brothers are still young. Lillet replied, I understand. The maid asked, really, thank you so much, everyone is grateful to you too. Her little group quieted down as well. Lillet asked, why do you think? The maid continued, maybe because the master was willing to fire her for your sake. Lillet again asked, why would you think that? The maid explained, that's probably because you were his nighttime companion. Lillet was shocked. The maid spoke, everyone knows. There's a rumor going around that you've been going into the master's bedroom at night, so that rumor, is it true? Lillet thought, there's no way they found out about the name thing. The maid continued, so the rumor is true, then what about his fiancée, Lady Camille? Lillet thought, Lady Camille, the maid said, nothing deep, but I was just wondering what would happen to her, because she is the master's official fiancée. Lillet thought of that woman from back then, after all, she was his fiancée. I shouldn't worry about it, even if he has a fiancée, it does not concern me. Then at night, Lillet spoke, everyone has a misunderstanding that I am the Duke's mistress. The Duke asked, what did you say? Lillet continued, I was asked if I'm taking care of the Duke's nightly needs. The Duke told her, it's better than them thinking you're the one who manifested my name, so, what did you say? Lillet replied, I thought so too, so I didn't say anything. The Duke commented, that's fine, thanks to your pretty face, they will completely believe the rumors. Lillet asked, my face? The Duke replied, yes. They must think I fell for this beautiful face, Lillet thought. How could he be so calm while saying something like that? She asked, it doesn't bother you? Don't you have a fiancé? The Duke explained, you know this as well, don't you? In higher society, no one marries purely for love, she is only marrying me for my name. She probably doesn't care what kind of rumors are spread about me. Lillet thought, but her expression at that time, no matter how you look at it, it was the face of someone in love. I forgot. I am in the middle of a treatment right now, this accursed name. The Duke spoke, it seems you don't understand, so I'll say this just in case. I am only engaged to her because of some old tradition. I have no interest in Lady Camille. Lillet said, I wonder if Lady Camille and those around her really think so. Time is almost up, so please just let me go. The Duke commented, is that what you were worried about? Lillet said, please wait, he's so close. The Duke started laughing. Lillet thought, what, weren't you trying to kiss me? But he can laugh like this too. The Duke told her, come on, get up, I'll take care of that problem. Lillet thought, he will take care of it, he will take care of what, and how? The next morning, the maids were chatting, what's going on? The master is attending the morning assembly. Lillet thought, I don't know, when he said he would take care of it, is this what he meant? The Duke spoke, your hair is a mess, a maid's basic duty is a tidy appearance, isn't it? The other maids whispered, the master's smiling at her so gently, he's completely different from when he's with Lady Camille. Maybe he's in a good mood today. You idiot, it's because he likes Brylan. Lillet thought, is it really better to be rumored to be his mistress, than for them to find out I'm the one who manifested his name? On the other hand, noble ladies were chatting, no matter whenever I visit, this place is always amazing. The garden of the Marquis's estate is famous for its beauty. After all, I'm so envious. Camille replied, it's nothing special, really, but the Duke's greenhouse is even more beautiful. The noble lady commented, speaking of which, you've been engaged to the Duke. Has it been 2 years already? I'm looking forward to hearing some good news soon. Camille told them, actually, I don't plan on rushing things. The Duke is a very busy man, however, I might be able to deliver some good news soon. A servant came and told her, my lady, this just arrived. Camille started reading it. The next moment, she was shocked. She thought, what is this? The Duke is engaged, but he has a maid who takes care of his nightly needs. She said, send a letter to the Justicia Dukedom. The content, right, I will be visiting tomorrow. The Duke and Lady Camille, everyone thought it was a political marriage, except for one person. A few years back, at the Imperial Palace Banquet Hall, Camille thought, he lives up to the name of a prestigious family that rivals the imperial family. He is truly flawless. This man is so charming. Finally, I can catch my breath. My face is sore from all the fake smiling. Is that the Duke over there? From his flawless, exquisite appearance in front of people, he seemed a bit more relaxed, as if he had been set loose. He felt relatable somehow, and yet completely out of reach. I fell in love with him at first sight. Since then, the Duke I had observed was clean in his relationships with women and in his private life. He was a man without any flaws. And yet, a man like that has a mistress, and a mere maid at that. Impossible. What kind of woman is she? Sometime later, Lillet thought, what is going on? The other maids wanted me to come and take care of the guest, so I came. And I think that guest was the Duke's fiancé, and besides. 1 hour ago, Camille said, "It's so hot, could you fan me from the side, and did you make this tea? I don't like it, make it again." The second time she said, "I won't drink something this lukewarm, make it again." The third time, "Make it again." The fourth time, "Make it again, one more time." Lillet thought, "She keeps pointing out mistakes and making me redo it. It's already been an hour." Camille thought, "She's beautiful for a maid, but her face looks strangely familiar." She said, "This time it's too hot, don't tell me you're doing this on purpose." Lillet replied, "I will go and make it again." Camille shouted, "That's enough tea." Lillet was in pain. The head maid came and asked, "Is everything all right?" Lillet thought, "Is it because I haven't been burned in a while? It hurts so much." Camille asked, "Are you okay?" The head maid told her, "Please give us a moment, another servant will be with you right away." Camille shouted, "Before the Duke arrives, my dress." After that, the Duke came and said, "I'm sorry I kept you waiting." Camille replied, "Your Grace, no, there's no need to apologize, it's my fault for arriving early." The Duke asked, "Is everything okay?" Camille commented, "I accidentally spilled tea on the servant's hand. I believe her name was Brylan, wasn't it?" The Duke stated, "It's going to be dark soon, so you should head home for today. I have to take care of something, so I can't see you out, but take care." Camille told him, "But I waited an hour to finally see you." The Duke stated, "I don't wish to waste your precious time, my lady. From now on, it would be better if you arrived on time." Camille thought, "I was just sent away, wasn't I? Why does he care so much about a woman like that?" Later that evening, Lillet came and asked, "Did you call for me? It's not even night yet, what do you want?" The Duke replied, "It seems it will be inconvenient not being able to use your hand for a while. The treatment will take time. For now, shall we head to bed?" Lillet told him, "I won't." The Duke asked, "What did you say?" Lillet stated, "I don't want to do it today." The Duke asked, "What are you doing?" Lillet replied, "I thought I told you I am not in the mood today." The Duke said, "Don't try to avoid me like that. If something is bothering you, then say it." Lillet thought, "It is because my burn still hurts, and on top of that I am frustrated because your fiancé harassed me, and more than anything," she said, "I saw Lady Camille escort you out. Did you escort her again today?" Lillet thought, "I think another woman touching Lady Camille instead of me makes me enrage. I don't know why, but I feel so jealous." She said, "I don't want to be touched by hands that have touched another woman." She thought, "I spoke too much." The Duke replied, "I sent her home by herself, so just stay still. It will be even worse if your injured hand gets inflamed." Lillet spoke, "That is not what I was asking." The Duke asked, "What are you talking about?" Lillet told him, "I believe Lady Camille came to see me because she heard the rumors about us." The Duke asked, "Are you trying to say what happened to your hand was my fault?" Lillet said, "What are you doing?" The Duke replied, "I've got to take responsibility if it is my fault." Lillet told him, "Stop it." The Duke commented, "The wound from the other day healed instantly. The master of a name can wield almost godlike power." Lillet continued, "The hourglass, you have not even turned the hourglass over yet." The Duke replied, "I know." Next scene, Lillet thought, "I said I was not feeling it, but in the end I was defeated by my own instincts. He is kissing me until my lips are swollen." Segan came and said, "Good morning." The maid and Segan were chatting. Then he said, "They said there are the new fruits that just came in." The maid asked, "Could you help me carry the ingredients?" Lillet came and asked, "Is this everything you want me to carry?" Segan was blushing. Then he said, "No, there are more outside the door and behind the manor. If it is okay with you, could you help me? I can show you around the garden and the forest while we are at it. I am the gardener's assistant, so I know the grounds well." Lillet thought, "The garden is a place I have yet to explore. I have not been outside since the day I escaped into the forest. Maybe this is my chance. I might be able to get information on an escape route." She replied, "Then please, lead the way, as far in as possible." After that, Lillet said, "I never knew that there was such a lovely garden." Segan replied, "There is also a greenhouse not too far from here." Lillet asked, "Do you manage that as well?" Segan replied, "Please, just call me Segan, and maybe we could drop the formal speech." Lillet said, "By the way, if you brought the ingredients directly, does that mean the cargo wagon comes this far in?" Segan continued, "No, the cargo wagon comes through the back gate on the other side. I just happened to not have any garden work today, so I was helping out. Lillet thought, the back gate on the garden side. If cargo wagons are coming and going, it shouldn't draw any attention. If it comes down to it, I might be able to use it as an escape. Suddenly, she was scared by a bullet sound. Segan asked, "Are you all right? You look pale." Lillet replied, "Yes, I'm fine. I was just alarmed by the loud noise." Segan told her, "Seems like the master is hunting. You know, there's a forest surrounding the manor. He sometimes releases the rabbits into the wild there to hunt." "Are you sure you're fine? You're breaking out in a cold sweat. Wait here for a second." Lillet thought, the wound on my body vanished right away, but the memories don't fade so easily. I got startled by the noise even without the prince nearby. Segan came and told her, "I got you a present. This flower is called delphinium. When I first saw you, I thought this flower would suit you perfectly. Did this cheer you up a little?" Lillet replied, "That's beautiful, and thank you." Kamen came to her. Segan asked, "Isn't that the master's hound? He's quite vicious, I heard." Lillet replied, "No way." The Duke came and said, "You two look awfully free. Good work. Take care of this, and you, come with me." Lillet thought, "What is this about? He seemed very angry. Maybe I was just imagining things." After that, the Duke told her, "This is an invitation to the hunting tournament sent from the Imperial Palace. You will be accompanying me. Get ready." Lillet asked, "You're taking me with you?" The Duke replied, "Yes." Lillet thought, "Isn't that the tournament the prince hosts every year?" She told him, "I don't want to go." The Duke asked, "You expect me to leave you behind while I'm gone from the estate for so long? When your body will seize up the moment I stop touching you, you expect me to ditch you?" Lillet emphasized, "You know very well why I don't want to go." The Duke stated, "If you want to get out of it that badly, I'll tell you how. Seems like the effect lasts longer if I hold you like before. My trace. I just need to leave it deep inside of you. Choose which you prefer." Lillet replied, "I refuse." The Duke thought, "You're really stubborn," as if she's not drunk on an aphrodisiac, to think she still has enough willpower left to bite her tongue. Such a stubborn woman. Then he said, "To be this wet already." After some time, Lillet said, "Well, then if you will excuse me, my flowers are ruined." The Duke told her, "Leave those flowers here." Lillet commented, "But please, they were a gift to me." The Duke asked, "From whom?" Lillet replied, "From the gardener's assistant." The Duke again asked, "And where does this assistant work?" Lillet replied, "In the garden of this mansion." The Duke told her, "That is right, and I am the master of this mansion." Lillet thought, "So you are trying to say these flowers belong to you too?" He is so childish. He is always thinking about himself. So arrogant. It can't be that he is just teasing me. The Duke spoke. "See you later." Lillet continued, "Maybe he is jealous." Next scene. The prince said, "That is strange. I have searched everywhere, but I can't find the Duke." The servant asked, "Didn't you receive a letter stating the Duke would not be attending the party?" The prince said, "Yes, you are right. I completely forgot. It seems like we are both waiting for the same person. What brings you to this party? Did you come here to see the Duke?" "Unfortunately, he is not attending. It seems he is staying in the barracks at the encampment for this tournament, even though he usually stays at the Imperial Palace." Camille replied, "I think I know the reason why. Actually, I visited the Duke's mansion a few days ago, and I saw something strange. Rose quartz, the jewel-eyed maid." The prince thought, "Rose quartz." Lillet and Camille continued, "According to my information, the Duke is bringing that maid with him to this tournament." The prince thought, "How carefree of her, even though she is a toy that I threw away. Having fun with the Duke, is she not?" The prince commented, "So the Duke did not come because of that maid. Honestly, why so distant?" Camille told him, "You don't need to worry. I have an idea that you will surely like. That maid, I thought I had seen her somewhere before. The Pruitts, who were previously executed for treason." The prince stated, "Blame Freuden. The Pruitt family was eradicated. Not one member of the Pruitt clan exists in this world. They should all be dead already, understand?" Camille thought, "So in other words, it does not matter if that maid dies." She replied, "Thank you for your valuable advice, Your Highness." The prince thought, "I must get her back. There are still so many things I have not done with you. Is that not right, Lillet?" Next scene. Segan came and said, "Take care out there. I heard you were going to the tournament." The Duke came and asked, "Are you ready to go?" He thought, "It's him again. What is he plotting this time?" Lillet said, "Thank you for seeing me. I will be back soon." After that, the Duke told her the details. Lillet thought, after seeing how he reacted. I am sure of it now, even about the flowers a few days ago, that was definitely jealousy. The Duke continued, someone might recognize you at the camp, so please avoid being seen as much as possible. Lillet replied, okay. She thought, he always looks after me, until now. I thought he just saw me as the bearer of the name, that he only needed my body for that. If he really does care about me, then my plan to leave him. I don't know anymore. My mind is a mess. For now, I'll just figure it out after the hunting tournament ends. After that, Lillet thought, thankfully, a week passed without any incidents. I still haven't gotten used to the occasional gunshots, but thanks to him being by my side, I'm not as scared as before. The Duke said, it is a good luck charm a woman gives to a man. It's an old tradition, Lillet thought. The one who gave him that was surely Lady Camille. The Duke asked, don't you have anything for me? Lillet replied, I have followed along obediently up until now. That should be good enough, don't you think? Then she asked, what are you doing? The Duke replied, I'll take this as my good luck charm. I'm heading out to hunt, so behave yourself. After that, a maid came and said, I have brought your meal. We were told that you are not to skip any meals. On the other hand, the aide asked, what's wrong? The Duke replied, no, it's just that I'm not feeling up to it. Maybe it's because she hates the sight of blood, so I'll just hand the victory over to the prince. What was that just now? It feels like my heart is being torn apart. I have a really bad feeling. Then he said, return to the barracks, we're heading back now. Like this video, hit the like button, and subscribe for more videos.